I'm sorry, 2 to 3 months. 2 to 3, 12 to 18. Which one's bigger? Which one's smaller? Triangle shape. Good. Reflexes, again, they appear. That I'm talking about them. Might they be important? Good. When do we expect them to disappear? What did we say?
6 months.
You're gonna review that? Which reflex sticks around the longest? Good. Which one? Babinski. Yeah. What is that one?
The family toes.
What do you guys think about this picture? They have krill. Bottle mouth syndrome, dental caries, there's a whole bunch of names for it. What do you think happened? They went to bed with something in their bottle, whether it be juice, baby formula, milk. Any of that stuff has sugar, and when sugar sits on our teeth, they may fall asleep drinking the bottle. There still may be something in the bottle, and it's just slowly dripping out all night, just sitting on those teeth, rotting them away. So what type of education do we have? Feed them, take the bottle away, and then put them to bed. Ideally, we're supposed to be teaching them to wipe the teeth off before they put them into bed. Okay. When should kids go see the dentist?
It's like a certain amount of period of teeth per day.
What do you think? They recommend their first dental visit by 12 months of age if they have teeth. What can we do before kids are getting teeth so they're used to us touching their teeth in their mouth? We typically tell parents to take your finger or take a cloth and just start wiping their gums so they get used to you being in their mouth taking care of their teeth or their gums, okay? When do we start brushing teeth? Huh? When they get their first tooth. How do I just put some toothpaste on it like I normally do and go in there and brush that tooth, or what do I do? Hey, she said we use these little gummy toothbrushes. Do I use toothpaste? She says no. What do they think? They make all sorts of fun, beautiful toothpaste. You probably want to use toothpaste. One time I was a new nurse and I was making this big brush teeth. And he was little, and all we had at the hospital was like that normal, like adult toothpaste. And so he brushed his teeth, and he started hollering. He's like, "It's hot! The toothpaste is hot!" Because it tastes, the mint is hot. Like, oh my gosh, that felt horrible. But I thought, why do we have mint toothpaste? I didn't know we were hospital. What am I supposed to do? Anyway, so children's toothpaste, yes, and they can use toothpaste. A pea-sized or a smear amount on the toothbrush that you'll start brushing your little teeth with. It's okay if they swallow it. You're not going to have that much where it's going to be dangerous. Okay, why do we ask the people if they have well water or they have city water? Because we worry about fluoride, right? What does fluoride do? What does fluoride do? Yeah, it protects our teeth from getting cavities. So, a few things to mention. Some places, anybody ever heard of a fluoride varnish? Yeah. Okay, some pediatric practices will take it's like a little paintbrush and you like paint the kid's teeth with fluoride. It's going to protect their teeth from getting cavities. So sometimes you'll see that. I'm going to tell you fluoride is controversial in the pediatric world. Okay, they've gone back and forth. Should we give kids fluoride if they don't have it? Should we not? I'm going to tell you it's going to depend on the pediatrician that you work with or that your kid goes to. Typically what they say, if a kid has well water, meaning that it doesn't have adequate fluoride in the water, correct? That we should be supplementing fluoride. So, that is typically started between 6 to 8 months. Why do you think in that time frame we're I already tell you? Yeah, I didn't tell you. Okay. I think I did. Maybe. Okay, so you're gonna take the age of the child in months, and you're gonna subtract, when do teeth come in? On average, 6 months, subtract 6. So if the baby is 12 months old, how many teeth on average should they have? 6. Okay, this is just a tool. It does not mean that every single child it is gonna be perfectly alignment.
Age from the amount of they are.
Minus 6. So if they are 8 months old, how many teeth should you expect as the nurse? 2. If they are 9 months old, how many teeth should you expect? 9 months old. 3.
Sorry.
Yes. Yeah, subtract 6. Alright, let's move on. Alright, I'm gonna go back and forth between slides here, just so give me a minute. Make sure it's what it is. Okay, so the infant and nutrition. First thing I have up there is vitamin D supplements. Who gets vitamin D supplements?
Breastfed.
Okay. What you are going to see in practice is your breastfed babies will get vitamin D supplements. How much? You guys looked this up on your regulars. What'd you say? Good guess. Times that by 400 international units a day is what a breastfed baby needs. When you guys read your textbook, it is going to tell you that all babies need vitamin D if they are not consuming, if they are consuming less than a liter of formula a day, then they also need vitamin D. That is what your textbook will tell you. So I'm just reiterating that. What you're going to actually see is your breastfed babies need. Okay? What do you guys think about breast milk versus formula? Okay, breast milk is typically recommended for how long? First year of life. Okay. They always say breast is best, right? We know that. What do you guys know about formula? Okay, she says it's Wisconsin.
They try to like match the breast to the formula. They try to match what is normal daily. It's not good.
Okay, so she says they come out with some good formula that's supposed to mimic breast milk. Okay, great. What else?
It doesn't have antibodies.
Okay, what else? How does it come?
Concentrate.
Okay, they come in ready to feed, they come concentrated, they come in powder. Most importantly, we want to make sure the formula has iron in it. We need to teach parents to read the label, because depending on what they buy, that will depend on if they need to mix it or they don't need to mix it, correct? When you're mixing a bottle, do I put the powder in first or the water?
Water.
Okay. What do you guys know about iron? Do we give iron supplement?
Yes, after 16.
Okay, she says yes after 6 months. What do you think? What mom's telling you is. Say depends on what mom's side. What else? What do you think? No comment?
And 45 complementary foods after 6 months.
Okay, I like that thought. So this is another little controversial thing, okay? They say that we should be giving iron, this is what your textbook's gonna find, we should be giving iron around 4 months if a baby is breastfeeding. Because we know that about that time, that's when their iron stores are depleted. I'm here to tell you that iron tastes awful. It stains teeth. It causes GI upset, causes stool, babies to become constipated. So typically we will check their iron level twice as they're growing and developing, and if the iron level is okay, we will not do iron supplementation. Okay? Let's say I had a test question and it said you need to give iron to the baby at 1 milligram per kilogram per day. And the baby weighs 6 kilos. How many milligrams of iron am I going to give the baby today? 4 months. I don't know. 4 months. They weigh 6 kilos. Which is fine, but they weigh 6 kilos. And I need to give 1 milligram per kilogram per day of iron. Yeah. Okay.
That's
Okay.
way too easy.
Well, when
sorry.
she asked me the age, I was like, okay, where's she going with it? But yeah.
That was me.
Who asked me the age?
I
You did?
said, yeah.
Oh, okay.
I'm
Sorry.
thinking.
Katie's probably like, why is she looking
Why
at
you
me?
told us? I was like,
Oh, I thought I heard somebody.
That was me, yeah, no, I'm being overthinking.
It's all good. Okay. Questions about iron. Why is iron important, first of all? I'll tell you why iron is important. Well, it is important because we know that if children have low levels of iron, developmentally they will start to fall behind. So it is very important that they have adequate iron in their diet. Okay? Back to vitamin D for just a minute. Why are we so worried about vitamin D? Why are we worried about vitamin D?
Anything causing absorption.
Calcium and they're growing. What happens if we don't have adequate vitamin D? Rickets. Good. You talked about breast is best. Let's talk about, how about, what do I have up there? Solid foods. What's offered, what, when, what does that mean? What do we start with first? At what age?
6 months.
6 months. Okay. What are we starting with? 6 months, you guys say. What did I tell you you're gonna see in practice probably? Around 4 months. Any test question in class? Kaplan, this class? Breast milk is best. We don't introduce baby foods until 6 months. Okay, what will I start with at 6 months first? Rice or oat cereal? Okay. They tolerate it. Great. Now what do I give? She said fruits. She says puree fruits. She says or vegetables.
Do it one at a time, 3 to 5 days spaced out.
Okay. I like the 3 to 5 day spacing now. Oh my gosh, so we've done the rice and oat cereal. It's going really well. We really like to do some fruits or vegetables. I don't know which one I should do first. What do you think? She says carrots. I love it. Carrots. What else? Okay, it doesn't matter. There's gonna be all these, your parents are gonna tell you, your grandparents are gonna tell you. If you give them fruit first, honey, they're not gonna eat their vegetables. Whatever. You can do either one first, it doesn't matter. There just has to be a 3 to 5 day spacing between. So, let's say I give green beans, they tolerate it. You give green beans on day 1, you're gonna give green beans on day 2, you can give green beans on day 3, and you can give green beans on day 4. And they tolerate all the days fine, okay? Then it's time for me to introduce something else. So I'm gonna give apples. So can I also give the apples with the green beans?
Yes, yes.
Okay, I wanna make sure we were clear. Good, you are correct. Sorry. When do we do meat? First of all, I wanna rewind. Why do we give 3 to 4 to 5 days spacing?
For allergies,
How would I know they have an allergy?
reactions.
Well,
Irritation, maybe, they're irritable.
babies are irritable. How do I know they're gonna be any more irritable than they are?
But their stools are bleeding.
Their stools are gonna change when they eat food. Good thought, no. That's what I think. Okay. So you guys know with allergies, that would be like more anaphylactic, lips swelling, trouble breathing. We wanna avoid that for yourself today. Rashes is a common one. Other things are kids will just suddenly like profusely vomit after they eat it. Not normal. Kids spit up, yes. Kids don't typically project out vomit after they eat. So things to watch for. Okay, we talked about meat. About meat. Yeah. When do we do cow's milk?
1 year.
Cow's milk after 12 months. What type of milk?
Whole.
Whole milk, why? They need the fat for the brain development. Okay, I have a kid. They come in. They're in the 99th percentile for weight. They're 12 months old. What kind of milk am I gonna give them? What do you think?
I say whole.
You said whole. You say whole? 99th percentile. Is that good? Is that a good percentile? 99%? Big. Over 95 is considered overweight, right? 99
Well, are they 99 consistently or just on
weight. That's it. 99% of their weight. Okay, I don't know there's a correct answer. I was like, I'm just throwing these scenarios at you. Okay. I would probably not like to give them whole milk because they're already on a really destructive pattern. If they keep going up, I got a problem. Because these kids can't really exercise. I mean, sure, they're gonna be mobile, but I can't like put them on an exercise regimen or something. So you're probably gonna encourage like a 2% type of milk. That's gonna be pediatrician dependent, but I want you guys critically thinking about those things. You may have a kid someday that's in the 99th percentile, or you may have a niece or nephew or whatever. Okay. When we get to cow's milk, hold on, I need to look at something, just hold on. Pause. Okay, let me see. What do you think about water?
Important.
She says it's great. Is that what you said?
Yeah.
Why is it great?
Hydration.
When can I give my kid water? Huh?
Like a year.
Yeah, they say 12 months. They say no water is needed under 12 months. Okay. What about juice?
No.
They did, so my physician told me to give her the firm juice because she had a gut reaction to formula. Her stool was too much.
Okay. They typically say no juice. Juice is a bad thing. No, 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 no. However, I'm here to tell you that if a kid is severely constipated, you will see pediatricians recommend to give them juice. 100% prune, pear, or apple. Okay, good thoughts. Talked about breastfeeding, we talked about vitamin D, we talked about iron, fiber. No water under 12 months, no juice, sometimes given for stooling. How much, when they go to cow's milk at 12 months, how much is too much? How much should they be taking per day? First of all, how many ounces is in a cup? 8. One clear, 8. So that's a serving, correct?
Yeah.
They say no more than 3 to 4 servings a day. Just how many ounces?
24.
24 to
32.
32 ounces. No more than 24 to 32 ounces of whole milk a day. Because why?
Too much.
What's gonna happen? Hmm? She said diarrhea. Not what I was thinking.
Why? Too much food?
Okay.
Oh, not
They
enough.
are drinking.
Not enough food.
They're not probably going to want to actually eat food that they need to eat because they're filling up on milk. And when they fill up on milk and they don't eat enough of iron in their food, what then happens? They become iron deficient, and we know that that's bad for development. Does that all make sense? Okay, so after 12 months, no more than how many servings? Great. What do you think about honey? No honey until after 12 months, because why? Botulism. Honey can carry a bacteria that can be harmful. We do not want to give it. What do you think about eggs? Scrambled eggs. The little baby has the pincher grasp when? Pincher grasp when? Nope. Pincher grasp when? Pincher grasp when? 9 to 10. I'm gonna give them little bites of scrambled eggs. Is it okay? I'm gonna put it in my mouth. When can I put my hands to my mouth? So, I got my pincher grasp and I'm gonna put it in my mouth. Scrambled eggs okay? What do you think?
More for allergies.
You're worried about an allergy? Who said that? Good thought. What are they gonna be more allergic to, the yolk or the whites of the eggs?
The white.
Yolk.
Yeah.
The yolk
Yolk.
is typically fine. The white of the egg is what carries the protein, which is typically what people are allergic to. I know. What do you think about peanut butter? It's
So 9 to 10 ounces is okay for eggs?
Yeah, once they can start getting a little bit. I'm not gonna expect that you know that age. I'm gonna expect that you should be thinking about eggs being at risk for allergy. What's the difference between the yolk and the white? Okay, what about peanut butter? It's great. She says it's great. 6 months. What do y'all think? Peanut butter?
1 year.
Somebody says 1 year. I'm gonna tell you, small amounts are a beautiful thing around 6 to 8 months. Because why?
Allergies.
What have we found? There was a study done, don't ask me where, don't ask me who did it, but there was a study done. And they found that if we introduced small amounts of peanut butter to young children often, now I'm not saying you're going to the jar and you're getting a big old spoonful. Here, little Johnny, eat your peanut butter. No. Have y'all ever done that? You can't even right? No, it's not gonna go good. But you can take a little bit of peanut butter, mix it with some food, mix it with bananas, mix it with breast milk. I don't care, just a little bit, make it a little puree, give it to them, frequent, often. It will reduce the risk of them developing a peanut allergy. Amazing, right? So, good thing.
Why does it not work with other things then?
I don't have an answer for you. Maybe it does, we just haven't studied it.
Well, this switched
Good
from my
call.
oldest and my second.
What did you say?
This, so for my oldest, it was not a year. They said, do not use your peanut butter until a year. And then that's when I had the second year. So it's just, it's very, we started.
Roll it back, yes.
So 6
I would think that it
6
would
months.
work for other things. Robin, I don't know the answer to that, but. This you guys learned about in a week, correct? Not gonna waste my time, talking about that. Let me make sure I get everything in my notes while I'm deciding.
Do you know what chapter this, the nutrition part is in?
It is probably in your growth and development for your infant. Some of it is just my general knowledge, so I'm sharing with you. Okay, we're ready to move on. Okay, play. What do you think? Okay, let's look at these pictures. What is this baby playing with?
A mirror.
Okay, this baby's got what? Rattle. Okay, this picture's deceiving. They're playing with the blocks. They are not stacking the blocks, okay? This is like a push pull, okay? So, here's your ages. Here's your toys. We're matching them up. What do you think? What do you guys think about the mirror? The baby's doing tummy time, they're looking in the mirror. Look at your age options. What do you think? This solitary play, they're by themselves.
You can hold their heads, maybe they use 6 months.
Well, they're not technically holding their head, they're on their belly, so they're gonna have some neck control to go like this. I'm gonna tell you this more. What did I tell you baby's like? Hi little baby, how are you? Look how close this baby is to this mirror. They're just staring at me like this. Right? 1 month. Okay, what do you think about this baby? They got a rattle. When did I tell you they should maybe start shaking that rattle? What did I tell you?
Yeah, 2 to 3.
2 to 3 months, so they're just learning that skill. So what do you think, by 4 months, they're really gonna be into that rattle, right? Okay, what, that baby has a teether, when do they get teeth? Okay, that one should be pretty self-explanatory, right? And then you have, the blocks, that's gonna be your 9 to 10 months. Your 12 month, and, these are both as well. Having enough fine motor to hold the phone, know that the phone goes to my ear. 12 months, I told you they hold my hand and they walk. So you see why a push toy would be fine, right? Following me? So if you had a picture on your exam, you'd be able to tell me what age group the child wants to play with that? Yeah? Yeah? Maybe? Okay. We're still on the infant. We're going to talk about object permanence, separation anxiety, stranger fear. For a general rule of thumb, you're going to see how it all says 8 months, 4 to 8 months, 6 to 8 months. You're not going to get caught up with that. When you're studying, you're going to think, okay, around 8 months, these things should be developing. Okay? Fair? What is object permanence? It says it develops around 8 months. The understanding that objects continue to exist even when they cannot be seen.
Like when mom leaves the room, and then they know that she's like still existing, but she's.
That's a good thought. That's almost a little further down the road because mom's completely out of the
You
room.
can hide a toy under
Ah,
her.
phone. Mom is on her phone. We're watching a video on mom's phone. Mommy then takes it and puts it behind her back. I still know that darn phone is behind there, right? I like to think of peekaboo for object permanence because if you've ever played with peekaboo with a kid before they have object permanence, they don't think it's funny. You're like, peekaboo! And it's like, peekaboo! They're like, this is not fun. I think you're gone, and I don't know what's happening. But once they have object permanence, they know that they just don't know when I'm gonna pop out, but they know I'm still back here. So then when I pop out, it's really funny, and they get really happy. Okay, maybe I'll never play peekaboo, maybe that's old school, but that's what I think of when I think of object permanence. Separation anxiety, stranger fear, those are pretty self-explanatory. Those types of things also are starting to develop around 8 months. Ooh, I do need to go back in time. Extrusion. Why did y'all hear me? Hey lady, you missed something.
My thing was getting
The extrusion reflex is a reflex, that babies have that typically disappears around 6 months. Okay? This is why when people introduce food before 6 months, they say, well, he doesn't like green beans, he just spits them out. not really spitting them out. You have a reflex where the tongue will naturally push stuff out of the mouth when the baby's mouth is not ready to actually swallow it. Okay, and that reflex typically goes away around 6 months, which is typically when we're introducing things, and so it goes relatively smoothly. Does that make sense? Alright, I'm gonna go back to what I thought about that. Sleep. In the very young infants, usually by 4 months, they are sleeping through the night. I don't know about that. That's what they say. I would say it's probably closer to 6 to 9 months, but they're saying most babies should be able to go down for sleep and sleep through the night. Your breastfed infants typically awake more often. They're typically having at least a couple naps during the day. We already talked about safe sleep, right? I can move forward. Great. We already talked about this as well. Suffocation, motor reflux, and drowning. Highest rate for what? Mortality, right? These are the reasons that babies are passing away. We get to talk about Sarah's helmets now. Okay, this is just a couple things from that chapter that are common things that we see in pediatrics for our infants. The first one is called plagiocephaly. Okay, that's the fancy medical term. It basically means they have a flat spot on their head, as you can see, right, in these babies. What about baby A? Okay, first of all, there's many different types of plagiocephaly when you read in your book. You are focusing on positional plagiocephaly. Do not bog your brain with all of the other beautiful fancy terms. Positional. Okay, what do you think? Where is this baby flat? Oh, that makes sense. Right here, right? Where's this baby flat? I quit. I'll do that. We did. What are we gonna do about it? I told you it's positional plagiocephaly. They have a flat spot on their head. What do you think I'm gonna do first? Okay, I have up there. It's most often related to position, so we want to change their position. That is what we will try first. If you always hold baby in this arm, try to hold them in this arm. If baby is always in their car seat flat on their head, maybe try to put something behind their head so they're shifted this way or whatever. So we're just changing the position of where that head lays, okay? We will also recommend more tummy time because the baby's not laying flat on their head in tummy time. They're having to have that head off of that flat surface. When do you think, let's say we've tried this, and we've tried this, and we've tried this, then what do you think we're gonna resort to?
The helmet.
The helmet. Okay, so the helmet is only after what? Right, after you've tried the repositioning and interventions. Okay, up there next I have sudden infant death syndrome or SIDS. So the sudden death of an infant younger than 1 year of age. Risk factors include what I have up there: tobacco smoke, co-sleeping, low birth weight, preterm, or male. Page 861 has more risk factors. Don't stress yourself out. I would expect that you could identify some risk factors or list some if you needed to. It says,
It's almost on.
yes, protective factors. What does that mean?
Like if the baby's sleeping in the parent's room.
Okay, protective factors. How do I prevent SIDS? That's what I need by that. And what did we talk about? How do we prevent SIDS from occurring? What? Okay, she says in the same room for the first year of life, but not co-sleeping. Good. Same types of things. They're gonna go on their back to sleep. Their crib is going to be bare. Other things that research has shown is SIDS is decrease in breastfed babies. SIDS is decrease in babies that use pacifiers. SIDS is decrease in babies that have air movement in their room. a fan blowing or circulating air. Okay, you guys need a break?
Yes, please.
Okay, let's take a quick 5-minute break and then we're going into the toddler. Okay? What age?
Up to 30
Or how many years? One to what?
3.
3. Beautiful. We've already talked about getting on their level. We've already talked about making sure we smile. I think it's important to know that their vision is 20/40. This is acceptable. They don't have perfect vision, okay? What does that mean, 20/40?
Someone's listening to part of this question already.
You too. Wait, what?
I said I got this question wrong all the time.
Yeah.
What people normally see from 40 feet, they can only see from 20 clearly.
Beautiful. Say it again, everybody.
What everybody else should normally be able to see from 40 feet, these children can only see from 20 feet.
So bad, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right? I mean, it's normal for this group, but if I were to have 20/40 vision, me, that would be abnormal. Correct? Okay, just making sure you're understanding how that works. You should have got that in health assessment.
Yeah.
Since it's continue to develop, they use them to explore environments. Toddlers do what? They put everything in their mouth. Little babies also put everything in their mouth, hence why they're sick all the time. Kids learn by, oh, what does it feel like when I put it in my mouth? Oh, what does it feel like when I put it in my hand? Oh, what does it feel like when I put it, when I take a bite of it? Oh, what's it taste like? What happens when I throw it? What kind of noise does it make? Those are all ways that they're learning. That is normal. Okay, I don't want you to get caught up in their growth. That is on there just as an FYI. However, at the bottom, you see something that says genuverum, which means bow-leggedness, which is normal until the age of 2. I would expect that if you saw this term, you know what it means, and you would know that it's normal until the age of 2. Yes?
So when you compare that to rickets, what's?
Rickets deals with vitamin D deficiency and a whole bunch of other stuff. This is just talking about the bow-leggedness, period. Okay? So, how are you going to remember genuverum versus genuvalgum, which I will talk about in different slides? I'm going to tell you. Rum is an alcohol. Correct?
Mhm.
Yes,
Yes.
rum is an alcohol. Okay. When you drink too much rum, what happens? You get drunk. And you walk around.
Oh, that's what you're talking about.
Legs are both.
Okay. I was like.
That's how you're, this is just a little way I remember it. If your brain doesn't operate that way and you were just able to remember things, then good for you. But I have to have certain ways that I remember things, and that's how I remember it. Genuverum, rum, I get drunk, my legs are bowed, I'm walking around like crazy. Normal and sensitive. Not normal to drink rum. I don't want that to be confused, but that's how I remember it. Okay. Let's talk about the Erickson stage that they're in. Autonomy versus what? Shame and doubt. This age child wants to do everything themselves. They are learning how to use all of these different fine motor and gross motor skills. They want control of their body. They want control of their environment. We need to allow them to have control if the time and the place is appropriate, okay? There are certain times and places it is not appropriate that that kid gets to dictate their behavior or how their environment, those types of things. But that is the best thing that we can do is allow them to be autonomous when the place and time is appropriate, okay? Notes everywhere. Try to get all of them. Sure you're all getting everything you need. Okay, what if they develop into shame and doubt? How do you foresee that happening? We want them to be autonomous.
They never get choices.
Right, they never get allowed to be independent. We're always shaming them of you shouldn't have done that, or why are you acting that way, or we're not allowing them to be the age that they're at, okay? I told you to let them be in control when they are capable of being in control. They are starting to become conscious of their behavior and how it affects other people, a little bit, okay? This is the age where you're gonna hear them, no, me do, no, me. Or they're throwing things like I told you about because they wanna know what noise it makes or what happens, does it break? And then this is where we're avoiding shaming because that makes them feel very small. It makes them feel not important and it's gonna developmentally hinder them, okay? This is an age where I talked about choices, allowing choices when we can, and remember how we're phrasing things. Do you wanna get dressed? No. Well, you need to get dressed? No. You gonna put clothes on? Well, no. So, do you wanna wear the red shirt today or you wanna wear the green shirt today? Either way, they gotta put a shirt on. I can really care less what color it is. Okay, questions there? Move on. Okay, other milestone stuff. They're gonna start at 13 to 18 months, quite a big range here. They should know their name, they should be able to take a ball and throw it over their head. They're gonna start using a spoon. Now they're not, at 13 months, they're probably not gonna be extremely coordinated, but at least they're starting that, put it in my hand, scoop something up, get it to my mouth. 19 to 24 months, vocabulary is getting bigger. They should be able to jump with both of their feet. They should be able to start stacking the blocks. 15 months, they walk well. They should be able to get their clothes off. At 15 to 18 months, they should be able to point to body parts. Simple. This is my head. This is my stomach. This is my arm. This is my legs. Not this is my pupil, and this is my pinna. No. Ear. Eye. Nose. Simple. Okay? Questions there? That's just stuff you're gonna have to learn. Okay, language. Their comprehension is increasing. Their ability to understand what we're saying is increasing. By 1 year, one word sentence. By 2, multi-word. By 3, simple sentence. What does that mean? What do you think? By 1, when it says one word sentence. What'd you say? Help?
Yeah.
Or she said, what'd you say? No? Okay, I think of, those are both fine, yes. I think of what a kid said, they say up. Up, up, up. What does that mean?
Yep.
I want to be picked up, right? By 2, multi-word sentence. This would be all gone. All gone. All their food's gone. Or something got taken away. Or mama go bye-bye. Mama go bye-bye. What does that mean? Mom left. She went bye-bye. She's gone. By 3, simple sentences. So, I don't know. Very simple. Dog went outside. Mama at work. Simple things like that. So at 3 years additionally, they should know how old they are. They should be able to tell you they're 3 or hold up 3 fingers. They should know their gender. I'm a boy, I'm a girl. They should be able to count to 3. And then their vocabulary is usually like 900 words plus, large vocabulary at this point. Okay? How do we as parents or as nurses, teaching parents, how do we promote language development? Reading, huge. What else?
Not an adult,
You just talk to them, sing to them, read with them, play with them, so on and so forth. And let me make sure I'm not gonna have this is where I talk about it. Okay. If they have a language delay, what do you think we're gonna do? Let's think about that. If they have a language delay. Okay, she says refer them to speech language. What else?
Check nutritional deficits.
Good thought. What else? Are we ever worried about their hearing? This would be a time, how old are toddlers? 1 to 3, so their language is just really developing. If they're really falling behind in their language, I always like to think, well, first of all, can they even, sure, they passed the newborn hearing screen. Sure, okay. Do you think we ever check hearing again? Not routinely, if they pass their newborn hearing. We might check it at a well child, if there's a concern from the parent. So I start to think, first of all, I need to rule out and make sure they can hear me first. If the hearing is normal, then we implement those other things. And I tell parents you're like a parrot. What do parrots do? Repeat, and they repeat. So, we're gonna get dressed. We're gonna get dressed. We're gonna put on your shirt. We're putting on your shirt. We're gonna put on your socks. Oh, sock on one foot, sock on the other foot. Let's get your pants on. Pull up your pants. Let's button your pants. Let's zip your pants. Okay, your pants are on. You're dressed. Okay, that's just getting dressed. We're gonna get in the car. Here's the car. We're opening the door to the car. Okay, we're getting in the car. You're in your car seat. We're gonna go to school. We're driving to school. We're on our way to school. You're gonna play with your friends at school today? You're gonna have a great day at school. You're just like this annoying person and you literally think you're going crazy. But that is how kids learn. They will watch our lips, how our lips move. They will watch, they will hear how we sound, and then they should start picking up on that behavior. So reading, singing, playing. If that stuff does not work and their hearing is normal, we will eventually get them in connection with speech therapy. You are correct. Questions there? No. Okay, should be play next. Parallel play. What do you guys remember about parallel play? Me and Katie were playing in the sandbox, remember? We're not playing together. Okay, so alongside, not with. This is where kids are inspecting toys like I told you. I'm putting it in my mouth, I'm throwing it on the ground, I'm slamming it together to see what it sounds like. They're talking to the toys, they're testing the toys. This is where toy safety is huge because why? What do they do as toddlers? What did I tell you? Everything goes in the mouth, so we have to make sure that it is safe. They start to do a little bit of imitation at this age. They want to play dolls, maybe they want to do dishes, play cook, or play in the kitchen, play dress up. Push-pull toys, because what are they doing at this age? Tactile toys are fun, water sandboxes, finger painting, stuff that they can touch and feel. Remember, how did I tell you they develop? By using their senses. So we want to incorporate that in their learning, in their playing. Nutrition, 3 meals, 2 snacks. 18 months, they're very picky. They're a fussy eater, they have food jags. What am I gonna do about it? She said she's going to give them a lot of options. Hello.
There were days when I used to, it feels like all I did was feed my kid chicken tenders.
Okay, and that's okay. I don't get freaked out. I tell parents, if they want a corn dog, or a grilled cheese, or a slice of pizza, or macaroni and cheese for every single meal, I don't care. They're eating something, and they will likely outgrow this. The best thing you can do is continue to offer choices, but if the only thing they're gonna eat is their peanut butter and jelly that day, hallelujah, and then they're eating something, okay? Let them be picky. Non-nutritive food, they're watching what we're eating. So if they see mom drinking her Mountain Dew, they're not dumb. They know that your can looks different than our city cup of water. So we have to be careful. They're picking up on our behaviors. This age is huge of how their food habits are going to be as they grow up. So other things, they should be mastering the cup. They prefer finger foods. Why?
The pinching.
Why do toddlers prefer finger food? They can play, they can touch, they can feel, they can bring it to their mouth. They should be able to use the spoon by 18 months, but when should they start using the spoon? What did I tell you? 13 months? Did I tell you that? habits are established this young. So what does that mean? What-
Sugar, and you're gonna always want to use that.
What else? What do people do? People are busy. You go home, they fix dinner. Mom and kids eat. I'm making this up. Mom and kids eat. Dad's out at work. He comes home late. He eats. I really try to tell families that they should like treasure dinner time because that's really the only time in your day if you're a working parent that you get that to sit down and eat and conversate with your kids, or your spouse. But what do people do over dinner? What do you think? They're tired? They've been at work all day? They're playing on their phone, what else? Watching TV. Maybe watching TV, what else? Bickering. Right, parents bicker. Not because they don't like each other, maybe they don't, but a lot of times it's just the buildup of stress and you're tired and parents are bickering over the dinner table. Correct me if I'm incorrect, but it's happening. And so do you think it's fun for a kid to sit at dinner and eat their food while mom and dad are fighting? No. So, I tell you that dinner time should be fun, it should be enjoyable. How was your day? What do you get to do tomorrow? You know, whatever you want to talk about. But make it enjoyable. Do not bicker, do not argue. Put that aside for later, and focus on your kids. Okay. Okay, other things to think about. If I take a full plate of food and I give it here, don't tell me your name. Kendall. Okay, if I give a I had it with Lou. If I give a full plate of food to Kendall and she's 2 years old, what do you think she's gonna do? Maybe.
It's too much, it's really overstimulating.
It's gonna be very overwhelming. If we give kids big portions of food, knowing they're not gonna eat it all, it still becomes very overwhelming because kids are smart. They know that I'm supposed to eat my food and I'm supposed to clean my plate. Mommy and daddy get really happy when I do these things. So making sure that you're giving appropriate portions to them to not overwhelm them. How much milk? 3 to 4 servings a day. Good. We talked about juice and lemon juice. Great. Sleep. They're getting on average 11 to 12 hours a day. They're getting 1 nap. They should be sleeping through the night. They should be in their own bed. It says bedtime resistance. They refuse to go to bed or they're waking at night. This is common in this age group. Usually it's related to some sort of fear. There's a monster under my bed, or I wake up and it's dark and I'm scared, something like that. So what can we do? Huh? Okay, what else?
My sister's pediatrician gave me like a syringe to suck up my monsters. It worked for a while.
Never heard that, it's creative.
Wants to show them under the bed.
Okay, Madeline.
Give them a, what does this little kid have? Okay, well, we call them our transitional objects, right? They usually typically don't have the pacifier anymore after the age of 1. A lot of times the pacifier works for kids to sleep. I don't recommend giving that back because of all the teeth development, mouth development. But a transitional object, a teddy bear, a stuffed toy, a blanket, something where they can find it and they feel comfort, okay? Those are great. Other things, no screen time, 1 hour, really 2 hours, 1 to 2 hours before bed. What do you guys do before bed?
Play on my phone.
Tell you what I do. I get ready for bed. I'm like, okay, the last thing I'm gonna do, I'm gonna check my email, I'm gonna check my Facebook. And then what happens when you're on Facebook? You scroll up, and you scroll, and you scroll, and what happens? Hours go by. Okay? So it's delaying our sleep, and then when you finally turn the phone off, you're laying there and your brain's going, right? Oh my gosh, I can't believe she posted. What? You know how this works, okay? So your brains are wired because of the lights and what you're reading and all these things. Same things happens to kids. So 2 hours before bed, whoop, no phones, no electronics, limit screen time. Other things that are extremely important are bedtime routines. What does that mean? Okay, I agree with both of those things. If little Johnny's bedtime is 8 p.m., but it's Friday night and we're gonna be going out and we're gonna be getting home late. Do you think that's gonna mess with little Johnny? Okay, so when you talk about a bedtime routine and you talk about a bedtime, it is the same time every single night of the week. Okay, I know at 7:30 that I am going to read my child a book. We then get in the bathtub. When we get out of the bathtub, we read another book while we're getting dressed. We get our lotions on. Baby gets a bottle. Baby goes to bed by 8 p.m. Right? Same routine. It doesn't have to be that exact, but everybody kind of gets in their own little thing. Or maybe we take a bath and then we brush our teeth and then we read our book and then we get in bed. There's got to be some structure that kids can follow. All right, moving on. Safety, we already talked a little bit about. This age is very, very, very curious. Everything's going in our mouth. This is when that baby proofing is extremely essential. They're getting into cabinets, they're removing cleaning supplies, they're climbing out of their crib and falling over, they're climbing up the dresser and the dresser falls over on top of them, things like that. Huh?
That happened to me.
Did it really?
Yeah, the wall caught it up.
Oh, it was attached to the wall.
No, it was like the
It hit a
edge
wall.
of it, yeah, went in the.
Crazy. What do you think about parents telling kids or telling kids medicine is candy? Bad idea, because then we want to get into medicine because we think it's candy, right? Other things I didn't mention with food is that we shouldn't be using food as a reward. There are more and more and more obese children, and so when we say, oh, if you're good, we can get ice cream, or we can have a cookie, or all of these things, all of these unnecessary calories add up. So try not to use food as a reward. Maybe if you are good for 4 days in a row, then you can have a special 1 hour playtime with mommy or whatever. That's just me. Other things I want to talk about here with poisoning is something called lead poisoning. Lead screenings are done in the outpatient setting. Pretty much with every visit, we will ask, do you live in a house built before blah? Do you have any chipped paint in your home? Does anybody have any hobbies or work-related things that deal with lead? There's like a whole list, okay? But we will screen for lead in children because why?
Slows development.
What'd you say?
That wasn't the answer you were looking for, I promise.
Okay, what did you say?
Oh, it slows development.
High levels of lead will impede development. Somebody over here said something.
I said they just put everything in their mouth.
Well, they
so
do,
never
they do.
know.
So we're worried, okay? We will screen for lead poisoning at 12 months and 24 months. It is a blood test that will be done outpatient. We will screen them. We want the level to be less than 5. If they have a high level of lead in their system, depending on how high, we worry about neurological deficits with that. If it is so high that it requires hospitalization, there's a whole protocol in your book that you'll read about. But it is something that we do watch closely. Okay, moving on. Potty training and temper tantrums. 2 things I like to talk about in the toddler age group. What do you guys know about potty training?
It's the worst.
Every kid's unique.
It's the worst, she said. Oh, every kid's unique. Okay, yes. On average, the age that kids are ready to potty train, 21 to 36 months. Okay? They typically have control of their sphincters around 18 to 24 months. You want a child to be physically and mentally ready for potty training because it will be more successful and it will be much quicker for you. How do I know my child is ready to potty train?
They tell you when they have to.
Great, and they tell you when they have to go potty. What else?
Wet diapers at night.
Huh?
They're not peeing at night.
Ah, they're dry when they wake up in the morning, overnight, okay? Or they're not. Good. What else?
They're interested in going to the bathroom.
They're interested in the potty. What else?
They may ask to go. Things like that.
Okay, what else?
They tell you right now, right?
Ah, I went potty. Oh, great, you went potty, so you know you went potty. Okay, what else? Ever seen kids like going high? Yeah. Okay. So if they know that if they are conscious enough that they're going to hide when they go to the potty, they are aware of the behavior that they're doing, okay? Other things is the kid can pull their pants up and down. If they can pull their pants up and down, that's a good idea that they're probably ready to start potty training. Okay. What do you think? Do you think it's easier to, this surprises you guys, do you think kids are typically better at going poop on the potty or pee on the potty first? Ah, why?
Because it's not as.
They don't like being gross.
Well, that too.
They don't like what?
Like, well, I know
I
that
didn't
they're
hear
gross, but like,
They don't wanna
they
sit
learn
there
that
too.
it's like gross to have to sit there.
Oh, okay.
It's easier to control, like.
I feel like I want you guys to think about very basic. When you have to go poop or you have to go pee, which one is usually a stronger sensation? Ah, so kids feel that. So that sensation to poop is a lot more there, or they can feel that a lot better. So that gives them indication that they know that they need to go potty. It's usually a stronger sensation, so they usually master that when they're urinating on the toilet. Now every kid is different. That's typically general rule of thumb. What about, do you think they have nighttime control first or daytime control first?
Daytime.
Daytime dryness is typically better controlled than nighttime. Okay. What about if a kid is normally potty trained? Let's say we go to the hospital and we have a 2-year-old, normally potty trained. We go in the room and they're in pull-ups.
Regression.
Not uncommon, why?
Yeah.
Kids will
Yeah.
regress when they are ill or when they are sick or when they are in a stressed environment, okay? So it's called regression. So I just think of when a kid is normally potty trained and now they're hospitalized. It's very common for them, they're in an abnormal place, they're having procedures done, but we will put them in pull-ups because we want to prevent them from feeling totally helpless and having accidents in their big girl or big boy underwear, okay? What do you guys think about potty chairs?
So great.
They're great, but they're gross. What else?
I think they can use it.
Wouldn't use it. I think it's controversial. Some people will say don't ever get a potty chair because then they're gonna be scared of a big potty. You gotta do what works for you, okay? Talked about regression. Oh! Kid normally potty trained. I don't care. 30 months old. Mom and dad bring a new baby home.
They revert back and forth.
Okay,
Yeah.
so they don't regress just because they're hospitalized. Any sort of stressor can cause that. Good. Temper tantrums, what do you think? Why are they having tantrums, first of all? I have the terrible 2s up there. You'll also have the terrible 3s, they say. Be consistent, developmentally appropriate expectations. Okay, that's all pretty vague. What do you guys know about temper
I
tantrums?
don't know how to deal with anger or like frustrations.
They have autonomy, right? We talked about it. They don't know how to, so basically they're developing this sense of autonomy. They want independence, but they cannot process, or sometimes they don't know how to deal with this autonomy, right? So all those emotions, that anger, that frustration, that can become too much and it turns into a tantrum. They're very easily stressed, or irritated when they can't accomplish something, which can turn into a tantrum. They're not able to express their emotions appropriately, all of these things. So what do we do about it? What do we do about tantrums? What do you think? Okay, so she's gonna try to anticipate what's gonna cause it. I like that. Are they hungry? Are they tired? Let's anticipate they're gonna have a meltdown if we do whatever. Okay, good. What else? Can we do? Great. Grab the child and leave, right? Let's get the heck out of here. What if they have a kid that holds their breath? Oh, let them hold their breath, they're gonna pass out, they're gonna wake up, it's gonna be fine. Okay, or if it's a little baby and they hold their breath, blowing their face after they get shot, little adults take a breath, okay? You're gonna stay calm. You are the adults in the situation. You're gonna stay calm, you're gonna ignore their behavior. You're gonna grab them and you're gonna leave. Or if you have to be somewhere, you're gonna ignore the behavior, you're gonna stay calm. Kids feed off of our energy. You guys know that? Okay. I'm bringing in my baby. My baby won't eat. It won't eat. It won't take this bottle. It won't take its medicine. I don't know what you want me to do. It's not gonna eat. It's not gaining weight. What do you want me to do? I need help. It's not. What am I gonna do? You're like, whoa. Let me take your child. We're gonna go for a walk. You're gonna stay right here. You usually walk around, let mom calm down, dad calm down. And what do you think the baby does for me? Eat. Because they don't feel, mom's spinning out of control. So, that's the most thing. You're the adult, you stay calm. Good. We're gonna give positive feedback or rewards for good behavior. Sticker charts are a beautiful thing. If you don't get the red card at school all week, we're gonna put a sticker up every day, and then when you get 8 stickers or 7 stickers or whatever you decide on, this is gonna happen, okay? Other things you can do to prevent is anticipate, like Olivia said, but prepare them. We are leaving the park in 10 minutes. We are leaving the park in 5 minutes. Been biting, we're leaving the park in 3 minutes. You can slide down 4 more times and then we are leaving the park. And then you actually need to leave after that. Make sense? Questions? Talk about regression. Great. So regression, not only they might resort back to not being potty trained, what else could they resort back to needing? Pacifier, sucking their phone, bottle instead of sitting cup. Okay. You doing okay? I'm gonna let you out probably at 12:25. Can we make it till then? Okay. Preschoolers, what age? 3. Preschoolers, what age?
3 to 6.
3 to 6. They are in Erickson's initiative versus guilt. Correct? So they're not only guided by these outside people, they also start to have that internal voice that's helping to guide them and warning them when things are going to go wrong, correct? What else? Oh my gosh, wait, right here. What'd you say?
Maybe we're gonna tune out, go wait in high school this one.
No, it's just there for guidance, we keep practicing. So initiative versus guilt, they are having that inside voice telling them what to do. They're also having outside influences helping to guide them. These are kids that are still learning through their senses, right? They're exploring the world. They're developing a conscience. Their imagination is awesome, very, very vivid. They are starting to learn right from wrong. We still want to let them do things for themselves that they are able to do. We want to let, this is the age, we want to let them look, touch, play with our medical equipment. We're not making promises we can't keep very specifically to this age, really any child at this age in particular. Okay? Everything for this age group is why. I need to take your heart rate. Why? I need you to get up on the table. Why? We need to go potty. Why? Everything is why. Okay, nothing else there. Alright, this should be developmental stuff. Okay, how many wheels are on a tricycle?
3.
Done. 3 wheels on a tricycle, they should be able to ride a tricycle by age 3. Okay? They should be able to copy a circle. So if I tell them draw a circle, they can't do that. If I draw a circle on a piece of paper and I say, here's my crayon, you copy my circle. You draw a circle. They're gonna draw around my circle. It's not gonna be perfect. It's not gonna be pretty. But at least they have that concept of tracing that line. Okay? 4 years. How many wheels are on a bike? How many wheels are on training wheels? 2. There's 2 wheels on the bike. There's 2 wheels on the training wheel. 2 plus 2 is what? 4. At 4 years, they can ride a bike with training wheels. If that's not how your brain works, I'm sorry, that's just not my brain works. I don't know. Says up and down stairs alternating their feet. What does that mean? Yeah, they're going up the steps. They're not going like, okay. That's like a little bit. This kid should be able to walk up the steps. That was one, okay? They can draw a person with 4 to 6 parts. They should be able to stack more blocks. 5 years, they're getting ready to do what at 5? Go to school. So all of that should make sense. They can print letters. They can write their name. They can tie their shoes. They can skip. They can jump. All things you would anticipate a kid going into kindergarten should be able to do. Language. So 3 to 4 year olds typically have 3 to 4 word sentences. 4 to 5 years, they're following your commands. They're answering simple questions that you ask them, those types of things. What about stuttering? What do you guys think? Okay, she says yes. What do you mean? Is it normal? Is stuttering normal? Can be. What do we do about stuttering?
My daughter, I just had to tell her what she was gonna say. She would like start a sentence.
This is what I'll tell parents. Stuttering, I don't want to say it's normal because there are kids that don't stutter, okay? But it's not completely abnormal until, here's the part, stuttering becomes abnormal when it lasts longer than 6 months. It's the rule of 6s, okay? Lasts longer than 6 months. They are older than 6 years old, or they stop speaking altogether. Any of those 3 things are abnormal. I will tell parents, if your kid stutters, ignore it. Don't make a big deal about it. Be patient. Let them stutter and stutter and stutter until they get out what they're trying to tell you, okay? Don't make fun of them, nothing, just let it be. Act like it's normal. So, longer than 6 months, greater than 6 years, or they stop talking altogether. How many words do you think they know by 5? Yeah, thousands, greater than 2,000. That's what they say. That's a lot. Play, associative play. What's this? What did I tell you? Play, group play, but no rules. They start having imitative play, so they're mimicking. Imaginative play, they have imaginary friends. Dramatic play, what's dramatic play? Yeah, we're dressing up, or we're playing doctor, or something like that. Jumping, running, climbing. Look at this girl on the tricycle. How old do you, if I gave you that picture, would you tell me she should be? 3. Food, amount of food intake varies from day to day. They're still a little bit picky, maybe. Some days they're gonna eat more, some days they're gonna get less. I tell parents not to get freaked out about it. Just offer them and allow them to eat. Typically, as they get older, they're a little bit more agreeable to trying new foods. Kids, I don't remember the exact number, but it's in the teens somewhere. People have to try foods 15, 16, 17 times before they actually know that they do not like that food. So continue to offer it. They want to help prepare a meal. This is great, bring them in the kitchen, observe, and allow them to help you. It will actually increase the likelihood of them eating whatever you're making, is allowing them to participate. Okay, keep going. Sleep should be next. Sleep. They're sleeping through the night, nap time kind of tapers off, bedtime routines continue to be extremely important. Then I have up here nightmares versus sleep terrors. Okay, So the biggest difference between the two is your nightmares occur during REM sleep. Your sleep terrors occur during non-REM sleep. Sleep terrors, the kid will put the parent into panic. This kid will act terrified, screaming at the top of their lungs, thrashing around in bed. They'll be very difficult to actually get to wake up, and when you wake them up, they will not remember any of it. Okay? So it's more frightening for the parent than it is for the kid. Nightmares occur during REM sleep, which is often later at night into the early morning. They're getting into that deep, good sleep, and that brain is going off into the nightmares. This, sometimes kids will remember, sometimes not. Depends. Okay. You guys probably all still have nightmares at some point, correct? This is something kids will typically outgrow, okay? We already talked about this. Protecting their little heads, avoiding danger. Let me make sure there's nothing else I'm gonna tell you. No. Hey, I have the preschooler and sex, and most students are like, what? Mindy, these are little kids. What are you talking about? Okay, so I told you at 3 they know if they're what, male or female. Correct? Did I tell you that? Okay. So they know that their genitalia is different from daddy or mommy's depending on what sex they are. They are very curious. What did I tell you? They touch and feel everything. Oh, I know when I touch this, it feels good. They're not dumb. They're little kids. So, self-stimulation or masturbation is normal in this age group. Parents get freaked out by this. Oh my God, somebody must have touched my child. No, I'm telling you, Mindy, somebody must, why would they do this? So, I listen. If they have a valid concern that they think somebody touched their child, we look into that. But we also reassure that it is normal behavior. We talk about their development. I will tell them, the child, if they're going to do those behaviors, then you need to enforce that they do it in their room. So if little Johnny is in the watching TV with the whole family and he starts playing with himself, it is okay for you as a parent to take little Johnny to his room and say, we don't touch ourselves like that in front of other people. If you're gonna have these behaviors, you're gonna be in your room, or you're gonna be in the bathroom, or whatever you decide. So, it is normal, but it should be done in privacy. So, they don't go to school and hopefully do these behaviors, daycare, whatever. Oh, this is what I was looking for. Remember that they take our words literally. So, this was from our doctor. I operated on a little girl. She needed O negative blood. We didn't have any, but her twin brother has O negative blood. I explained to him that it was a matter of life and death. He sat quietly for a moment and then said goodbye to his parents. I didn't think anything of it until after we took his blood and he asked, so when will I die? He thought he was giving his life for hers. Thankfully, they're both gonna be fine. But that is how literally kids take our words. So, at some point, if you work in pediatrics, you're gonna put your foot in your mouth. You're gonna say something, and the kid's gonna say something back, and you're gonna be like, "Oh my God, that's not how I wanted that to transpire." So, I thought that was a beautiful example.
But how much did you like the sister?
Yeah, how sweet, isn't it? It's like all of it's sweet, but it's also terrifying for that little boy. Okay. I told you I was gonna let you out. All right, let's take. Oh, we're doing good. Okay. Let's come back at 1:25. Gives you an hour. Is that fair? Mm-hmm. Doing this. Okay.
Obviously, I didn't agree.
Really,